What if we reframed our anger so that instead of viewing it as a problem, we instead viewed it as a compass, pointing us directly to what we're meant to do? Hey, hi, hello everybody. My name is Kaylee. I am an embodiment coach and welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we fight the patriarchy by helping women rebuild and deepen their relationship with their bodies, hearts, spirits. And this month we are doing that by talking specifically about feminine rage. So if you are ready to start interacting with this emotion and move it through your body in a way that feels productive and healthy and cathartic, I have a rage release practice for you over on my Patreon. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to stop managing your anger as if it's a simmering pot about to boil over and start using it like the fuel it is meant to be. If I had to think of one phrase that led me to where I am today, it would have to be welcome to motherhood. See, I was just 26 years old, sitting in my doctor's office, my stitches still raw from birthing my baby just 6 weeks prior. And honestly, those hot, stinging, very itchy stitches were the least of my concerns at that point. Because in those 6 weeks, I hadn't slept more than 2 hours a night. I was crying more than my newborn was. And every single time a well-meaning stranger would pass us on the street during one of our 72 daily stroller walks, and they would look at me and point and say, "Enjoy it, Mom. This is the best it's ever gonna be." I wanted to set them on fire. So when my midwife asked me how things were going at my 6-week postpartum checkup, I did what any good girl would do. I downplayed it. I was like, "Oh, I'm mostly fine. It's good. I'm just a little bit snappy." And she smiled at me and said, "Yeah, well, welcome to motherhood." The way I could have thrown her in front of a speeding bus. And thus began my 7-year journey with my depression and my ever-growing rage. Because here's the thing, I could handle the sleepless nights and the PPD and the cracked nipples. Google has a million ways that you can fix those. But my rage, that apparently isn't a thing that women deal with. According to Google, the only way that I could find resources to deal with my own rage is if I was an adult man. So I started digging. I started piecemealing together resources and techniques and tips and tricks and tools. And what I found didn't just help me, it led me here. It led me to being a feminine embodiment coach and a mental health advocate. And honestly, if it weren't for my rage, I don't know if I ever would have discovered what I now believe is my purpose in life. Women and girls, we are taught from a very young age how to identify and process our emotions. Rather, we're taught to identify and process our pretty emotions, but things like anger or rage, that we're told must be suppressed, smoothed over, hidden so that we don't upset anyone else. But emotions don't disappear, they just simmer beneath the surface, slowly draining our energy. And when we spend our lives managing our anger instead of channeling it, we burn ourselves out rather than fueling our fire. But what if we reframed our anger so that instead of viewing it as a problem, we instead viewed it as a compass, pointing us directly to what we're meant to do? So if you two have been sitting with a quiet or not so quiet rage and you're unsure of what to do with it, this is how you stop fearing the fire and start following it. The first thing you need to do is to start paying attention to what makes you furious. Because if something enrages you, it likely means you care about it. Anger is a signal. It tells us what we value and what matters most to us. So for example, if being ignored sets you off, maybe your voice is meant to be heard. If injustice makes your blood boil, maybe fairness is at the core of your purpose. Now, I used to think that my postpartum rage and the whole journey I had coming into motherhood, which was a pretty rough one, was just exhaustion. But the more I listened and the more I tapped into what my body and my heart and my spirit had to say, the more I realized that it wasn't just about me. It was about all the moms who had been dismissed and all of the women who are taught to just suffer in silence and all of us who have kind of a rough go of it, who are being slowly conditioned into being that girl instead of just a fully functioning a girl. My anger was pointing me into something bigger, which eventually ended up being the embodiment practice that I now teach. So try this. The next time you feel your fire rising, don't shove it down. Pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is this anger actually about? What value of mine is being crossed? Start writing it down. Keep a rage journal if you need to. And I promise you, patterns will eventually emerge. So if you start noticing the same themes repeatedly pissing you off, there's a clue there. Most likely, your purpose is to challenge that very thing, change it, or create an alternative. Ask yourself this: what pisses me off every time I encounter it? And then ask yourself, is this something I am meant to challenge, change, or create an alternative to? The thing about anger is that it doesn't just come from something that's happened. It also comes from something that's missing. So when I sat in that doctor's office, bleeding, exhausted, and completely unrecognizable to myself, I needed someone to see me. I needed somebody to tell me, you are not crazy. This is actually really effing hard, and nobody's having just a sunshine and daisies time of it. I was told that I was allowed to not enjoy every single second of it, and that I was allowed to be mad, but nobody did. Sometimes our purpose is simply to give ourselves, and maybe even others, the very thing that we were once denied. So try this. The next time anger hits, and I mean like really hits you, ask yourself, what did I need in that moment? Then ask yourself, how can I start creating this first for myself, then for others? This is how cycles break. When it comes to living in alignment with your values, I think it's important to note that not every act of rebellion has to be this big, huge, loud one. Sometimes it can be as simple as choosing to live differently, even in small ways. For example, if you were angry at the system, find ways to opt out, shop small, grow your own food, support alternatives, boycott. If you're furious about being silenced or about seeing a group of people who are being silenced, share your story, share their stories, speak up, utilize the platforms that you do have or the audience that you do have to get the message out. Speak up and take up space. And if your past is what makes you rage, heal. Talk to somebody, see a therapist, get help. Be the one who breaks the cycle. Because here's the thing, every act of defiance stacks up. And before you know it, you're no longer just managing your anger, you're actually using it. Honestly, I think this is a good tip, not just for channeling your anger, but just for life in general, and that is to really look at who you admire. Who makes you sit up a little bit straighter or perk up when you hear their name or sparks something deep in your bones? I've always been drawn to the sad, mad, and rad girls. You know, the witches, the women who refuse to shrink. And I used to think it was because they were so different from me. But you know, now that I've gotten older and I've come into my own a bit, I realized that I admired them so much because they're a lot like me. We don't typically admire heroes because they are unlike us. We admire them because deep down, we are them. We just haven't stepped into actually being them yet. So to get started with this one, try this first. Make a list of your heroes and check for common themes. What do they all have in common? A few of my personal examples include Jane Fonda, Joan Jett, Ted Lasso, and a mentor from a previous job that I had. So once you have your group of heroes put together and you recognize common themes, then begin to ask yourself, how can I channel a bit of their energy into my daily life? Before I make an angry call to my senators, which is happening a lot these days. It's not real fun to be an American right now. Anyway, before I'm about to do that, I like to channel activist Jane Fonda. When someone makes a snap judgment about me that makes me feel small and upset, that is something that really gets under my skin. I remember that dart scene from Ted Lasso and his speech about being curious and not judgmental. It's so freaking good. But then I channel his energy and his way of thinking in order to bring my energy back to myself so that I can channel it into me. I can channel it into people that deserve it instead of giving my fire away to people who I don't even like and don't even like me back. Often, we admire those who embody something that we are meant to step into ourselves. Lastly, I want you to remember that you are not alone. Rage can be a very isolating feeling, especially when it's been all but conditioned out of you. It makes you feel like you're the only one who sees the cracks in your situation or the world, but you're not. There are others who are just as tired and just as unwilling to stay silent. Find them. Build with them. Because when anger is shared, it becomes something else entirely. It becomes community building. It becomes a revolution. So for this one, seek out spaces that channel anger into action. Online communities, local groups, feminist collectives. I'll share just a few because I feel like especially after pandemic times, for a lot of us who work from home or don't have a lot of spare time after our 9 to 5, finding community can be a very challenging ask. So for example, at my local library, there is a Steinem Sisters book club where they talk about feminist literature and have conversations around that. That's been really fun. I've also just done volunteer work for local metro parks because the environment is something that is very important to me. It's something that I do get very rage fueled about. So getting to meet up with and partner with other people who also care about our local ecology and to like do something about it, that's been very fulfilling. And if you don't see the space you need, create it. Social media can be incredible for exactly that purpose. I know it's kind of trash, and I'm speaking as a lady who just got rid of all of her social media for mental purposes, but there are some good things about it, and community building is definitely one of those. Speaking from my heart, I am so honored to be creating and growing this community of embodied and truly magical human beings right here on YouTube. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And if you're not already and you want to get in on this good, then hit that subscribe button, join the Coven, and let us all know in the comments what is fueling your rage right now and what is one small action step that you are going to be taking in order to channel that into something productive or purposeful. And if you're not quite sure, leave a question. We can all work together. That is kind of the point of community. Anyway, I'm excited to talk passions in fury with you guys down below. Also, please don't forget, if you are ready to release and purge and move that energy in a truly transformative way, please hit me up on Patreon, where you will find that rage release full moon ritual, along with tons of other resources and bonus content to help you expand and deepen and even begin your own embodiment journey. Thank you so much to all my patrons over there. I really appreciate your support. And again, that will be linked for you in the description of this video. And if financially supporting my channel isn't something that is accessible to you right now, no worries whatsoever. Please enjoy free content and support my channel by, again, subscribing, liking this video if you liked it, sending it to somebody who could use this message. And you can also check out my latest guided meditation, which is an intuitive dance moving meditation to help move anger throughout your body. As always, I love you and appreciate you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. And until next time, stay magical, my loves. Bye.